Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a round pincushion. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that at the very end of this video are several links you can click on so that you can learn how to do other pincushions.
One has 2 squares and a button.
And one has 1 button and 4 squares.
So let's get started on that round pincushion. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to make this really cute flower petal blossom pincushion. So let's go over the supplies that you need. The finished size of the top portion of the pincushion is about 4 inches by 4 inches. The base is close to 5 or 5 1/4 inches, somewhere around in there. Now you're going to need cotton fabric. You can buy fat quarters, or really these are perfect for using up your scraps. But you're going to, if you don't have any fabric, then buy about 1/4 yard. You're also going to need DMC embroidery thread, and it comes in a variety of colors. Polyfill stuffing. And then you're going to need a very small square of heavy iron-on interfacing or cotton batting, and you're just going to need a 5 1/2 inch square. You're also going to need a hot glue gun or fabric glue. You'll need 2 5-inch diameter circles out of cotton fabric. They can be the same color or 2 different colors. I'm using 2 different colors. And for that flower blossom look at the very bottom, which is your base, you're going to need to cut out 2 5 1/2 inch squares. This is the DMC embroidery thread. It's a very heavy thread, and it comes in many different colors, and you can find this in Joann Fabrics and Crafts. You can go online and purchase it. It's very, very popular. It's not going to be difficult to find. To make the flower petal for the bottom of the pincushion, draw a 5 1/2 inch square and then cut it out. And after you've cut it out, you're going to fold it in half, and make sure you're real careful about that you fold it very, very even. Then you're going to fold it again in half, and here's my folded edges right here. So you want to make sure those folded edges are right together, and then press. Now here's the 2 folded sides, here and here. Now you're going to bring the 2 folded sides together, and again make sure that they are even. Don't have it crooked, otherwise your flower petal will come out crooked. Get it in there. Alright, now it should look something like this. So what I like to do is I like to put the point right on a line of my cutting mat, so it's up here like this. Then you're going to take something round, and I love these little circle templates. They're made by June Taylor, and they've got a line going right down the center, so it makes it easy to line it up on this line. Now with a pencil, you're going to go ahead and draw around this. Then with a pair of scissors, go ahead and cut this out. And when you unfold it, it looks like this. Now I like to transfer my drawings onto cardstock so I can use them over and over again. That way it's very difficult to trace around thin paper. So now take your fabrics that you have cut out. You have these squares, remember. Place your interfacing down, then your 2 fabrics you want for the petal, their front sides together, and trace around your template. Place some pins to hold all of this together. So place pins all around it. Then at your sewing machine, you're going to stitch about, let me move this so the camera can see it a little better. There we go. You're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch from this line here, come in 1/4 of an inch and stitch all the way around. And when you come to these little dips, I call them little inside corners, you come in, once you are even with that corner, leave your needle down, make sure your presser foot is lifted, and turn your flower petal, and then continue stitching all around. Do not leave any opening. You're going to stitch it completely closed. After you've done your stitching, go ahead and cut the excess fabric off around the edge and leave 1/4 of an inch. Then you're going to go and do little snips all the way around. Be careful not to cut into your thread. When you come to these little inside corners, make sure you do one there at each one of those. After you've done all the clipping around the entire edge, then you're going to pull up through one layer of the fabric and pinch it. Do a little snip through that one layer and cut an opening about 1.5 to 2 inches open. Then you're going to turn this front side out. After you've turned it front side out, then reach inside of your opening and push against the seam to help smooth out the edges all the way around. Then go to your ironing board, and at this point you're going to fuse the interfacing to the fabric because that interfacing has a little bit of glue on it. So your instructions on your package probably tell you to put a damp cloth over the top. I usually just keep a spray bottle and dampen it pretty good. And then with a hot iron with steam, hold it down. And whenever the number of seconds it says on your package instructions, do that. And if you need to move it to cover more area, do so. After you've done the fusing, then go ahead and go to your sewing machine and do a zigzag stitch around here. I went around it one time. Now remember, this is going to be at the very bottom of your pincushion. No one is going to see this. For the pincushion itself, which just sits on top of the flower petal, you're going to draw a 5-inch diameter circle. And there again, I'm using these templates by June Taylor. You can get these on the internet, Amazon, anywhere. And go ahead and draw around your template on the back side of the fabric. You're also going to put a little mark there where you're going to leave a small opening so you can insert the polyfill. So to stitch your fabric together, bring front sides together and then come in 1/4 inch and stitch 1/4 inch seam all around. So you start here, come around, stop here, and go back and forth a few times. Make sure you pin your fabrics together all the way around. After stitching, go ahead and cut the excess fabric off, leaving that 1/4 of an inch there. Then all the way around the circle, you're going to do these little snips. Close to the thread, or to your stitch line, but don't go through the stitch line. Then after you're done with that, at the opening, I like to fold these edges back and finger press 1/4 of an inch and do the same thing on both sides. So when you go to close up this opening later, it's going to be a lot easier. After you've done all your clipping, go ahead, reach inside and turn this front side out. After you've turned it front side out, you want to start inserting your polyfill stuffing. Now, you'll be surprised just how much of this will go inside of that little pincushion. When you're pulling the stuffing out of the bag, you want to break it up into little pieces. Not great big chunks like this, just really little pieces. Break it up. Then take those little pieces and begin inserting it into the bag. Now it's a little opening, but trust me, you'll get there. You might, as you get more and more of it in there, need to use your polyfill stick that comes in the bag to help push it into the bag for you. So go ahead and fill up your pincushion, and then I'll show you how to close up your opening. To close up the opening here, I recommend you do a ladder stitch. If you do not know how to do the ladder stitch, click on the link in the upper right hand corner. It will take you to a very detailed video on how to do the ladder stitch. The reason why I like that stitch is it's hidden. It'll make your seam look nice and clean. After you've finished your ladder stitch, you want to go round and around a couple of times in the same spot. Now I'm going to show you a way of hiding the end of your thread so it doesn't stick out. Go right back in where you just left off. Push in and go out through the other side. Then cut the thread and mush it around a little bit and it will completely disappear. Now if you find when you are done, you feel like your edges are a little lumpy and bumpy, don't worry, the next step is going to take care of all that. For this next step, you're going to need a really long needle. I'm using needles by Dritz, D-R-I-T-Z. They're called soft sculpture doll needles, and there's 6 needles in here. Then get out your DMC thread and thread the needle. Now, this thread's very thick. It's going to take you a while probably to get it to go through the eye of the needle. Put a knot at the end of your thread. You're going to need a really long piece for this next step. And then you're also going to need to have your button ready. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier in the video was before you stitch your 2 fabric circles together, put a little dot on the front side in the center of each piece. So I apologize for not mentioning that earlier. You want to take your needle and go down through the center and then make sure you go through the center on this side and then pull it through. Now you're starting at the top, so the knot is going to wind up on the very top. And unfortunately my black thread is, you can't see it, but I'm in the center. After you've gone through the center, then turn it back over to the top. Oops. And take your needle and go back down through that area where the knot is. So stick it down through. Try to come out near that center again, okay? And then pull it. Pull your thread. So now you're going to pull it as tight as it'll go, okay? Now you're here on the back. Come back up on the front, and you're going to go over just a little bit. Go back down in through that hole again. Make sure you come out through the bottom near that center hole, and you're going to arrange it so it comes over right about like that, maybe just a little more than an inch, and you just pull it as tight as it'll go. Then you're going to come back over the top again, go down through that center, come back out near the center again, and pull it through nice and tight. Turn it over to the front, pull it back down through the center, push it through again. Make sure you get in there real close to the center. It's kind of hard to see. There it is. So now you're about halfway. So you want to go through and adjust your strands and make sure they're nice and tight. Now you're going to go around and you're going to put 3 more of these on. After you've gone through and put all of these little petal-like sections on it with your DMC thread, before you cut your thread, insert your button onto the needle, go back down through the center again, and then back up through the top. And if you can, I know your needle's probably pretty long, go through one more time if you can. If not, this thread's pretty strong, it's going to hold that button on. Then on the back side, tie it off. Now, I have a confession to make. My husband had to do this thread part for me because my right hand is handicapped. It doesn't close. So I want to give my husband credit. He did a pretty good job on this. So then you go ahead and put the button on, tie off your thread on the back. Remember, if it looks sloppy on the back underneath, it doesn't matter because your next step is to attach your little leaf-like petal flower blossom. And I'll show you how to do that next. You have several options for attaching this pincushion to the base of this. You could go through and turn it over on the back and just do a hand stitch going around in here. That's one way. That'll take a long time. Or you can put fabric glue and stick it on. But my favorite is the hot glue gun. So there are your three choices, so go ahead and attach the base to the pincushion. Well, here it is. It's all done. I think it's just a really cute little pincushion. This is a great gift idea for Mother's Day, grandmas, or any of your friends and family who are interested in sewing. If you are interested in other pincushions that are really easy, click on the links at the end of this video. There will be a green screen that appears. And remember, these little pincushions are a great way to introduce sewing to your children. Well, I hope you try making this pincushion. I think you will have a lot of fun.
And remember, if you like this video, click thumbs up.
And to please share with everybody, hit that curved arrow.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Don't forget to enter your email address and click on that little bell so you receive future notifications about my latest video. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Maria.
And I'm Manny.
See you next time. Happy sewing. Bye.